How you doing there, boys and girls? Good morning. It's Saturday. It's in July. I think it's probably the last Saturday in July. It's around the 25th, I guess. Um, yesterday I got the yesterday I got the garage door to open, uh, and it was it was a proud moment. Yeah, I've been working on getting that door. I've been working on getting access to the door so that I can get open for a long time. And it's open. It's open right now. Today I need to get out in the pool pump garden and do some weeding because it's really bad. It has been grossly neglected for a while. Let's get out there and get a look and see what's up. And you'll notice the truck is not sitting there. I took it back over to get the parking brake redone because the parking brake wouldn't hold it on the driveway. And there's some fuel system issues, and to be honest with you, rather than make my garage smell like 10 gallons of gasoline, I'm just going to let him handle it. Clean the gas tank, fix the gas gauge. Let's go check the pool pump garden. Got a water leak on the pool pump. I'm going to have to fix that sooner or later. Alright. Let's get a quick... Boy, the pepper plants look horrible. Something is just destroying them. Look at that. There's caterpillars out here that are just robbing me blind of peppers. Look at the squash plants. Ain't they beautiful? None of the okra came up. Alright, I need to get busy pulling weeds. This is going to take a while. Hello, boys. How about see what's Barney and Ed doing? Hey, Ed. Hey, Barn. You coming over to say hello? Oh, you don't like the camera? Okay. Look at the squash plants. Man, they're just doing beautiful. Look at the flowers on that plant. This is just gorgeous. There's another one covered in them. All right, let's get some weeds pulled out of here. All right, there we are. Let's get busy with, boy, it's nice and cool in here today. Let's get busy with taking care of some of this. I would rather, I love the morning glories, I really do. I'd rather that they don't take over the squash plants, which is what they're doing. Hello there, boys and girls, and welcome to the voiceover. I appreciate y'all being here and watching and being part of what I'm doing here on YouTube. It's fun because y'all are there. Now, it seems to me to be kind of odd that a guy would make a video about weeding the garden, but my videos are pretty much about what I do just kind of through everyday life, and that's what I do through everyday life. So I don't know, seems to me it'll be okay. Those morning glories are wrestling with my squash plants. All right, these squash plants are very, very delicate. Hello, Barn. How you making out over there, huh? Barney and Ed were too shy to come talk to the camera when I had it out and pointed it at them. They didn't want to play, but they'll come through the fence and watch. And those squash plants are so delicate that if you just brush up against them, it kinks the stem to the leaves. It's bad. Hello, Ed. How you making out over there, buddy? Ed and Barney have really turned out to be very good pets for us. They spend most of their time outside. We're giving them a little bit more time inside now, and they've matured a bit, so they're a little easier to deal with than they were than they have been. They were absolute animals in the house when we let them in together in the past, but that they're calming down some, which is good, because when it's hot outside like that, we'd really rather that they come in the house. But we can't have them come in the house if they're going to act that way, you know. And all you do is yell at them all the time because they're acting so crazy. What's the point, you know? I was real surprised at how delicate those squash plants were, because you just brush up against them. Like I said a while ago, you just brush up against them, and it kinks the stem to the leaf. And one of them, you're going to see later on, that one of them came right up out of the ground. It just, I guess when I put the seeds in, I didn't put them deep enough, and I didn't pull on the plant. I just brushed up against it. It pulled it up. So now it's just laying there like it's dead. We'll see what happens. It's funny because you pull the weeds out and smash them and do whatever you want to do, and they're going to come back. But you take the plant that you want to grow and just disturb it a little bit, and that's it. It's a goner. You ain't gonna get anything off of it, which is kind of the pits. You know, I'm gonna say that, I'm not sure if I might have already said this, but it's kind of odd that a guy would make a video about weeding the garden. But like I said, it's just what I do every day. It's my everyday life. I wish the okra plants had come up. Not a single okra seed sprouted, not a single one, which I find kind of odd. I'm going to try planting them again. I still have some of the seeds left, so I might as well. And I don't think I pulled them out by mistake, because I remember where I planted them, and there was just nothing coming up there, you know. So I think for whatever reason, and I'm sure I did something wrong. I mean, it's not hard to make it's not hard for a seed to grow. You stick it in the ground and get it wet, typically it grows. I must have done something I shouldn't have, but I would have liked to really had some okra. So I'm gonna try to plant them again and see what happens, and go from there. My poor little pepper plants are they're just pitiful. You know, I 7-dust them and I do whatever, but whatever's getting them is pretty hardy, and they're doing pretty well. They're pretty healthy with as much of what they're eating of my stuff. I mean, they're getting all the good stuff, not me. This is going to take a while today for sure, because there's a lot of it. It had been a long time since I weeded the garden, and it was coming up. The weeds do very, very well in the garden. They were just coming up everywhere, and some of the stuff was pretty good size. As it gets later in the year, it seems to me that the garden gets, you know, there's a few fairly good sized weeds and some chicken trees, which I'll pull up later. They grow pretty quick. And you know, chicken trees, I don't know what they're actually called. I had never seen one till I came to Louisiana, and I was told at that point that it was a chicken tree, and I've watched over the years, and I think the reason people refer to them as chicken trees, they're actually called a China ball tree. That's what they're actually called, China ball. But I think the reason that people refer to them as chicken trees is because if you go to somebody who's got a chicken pen, man, them chicken trees are all around the fence line. They grow fast. They grow in the chicken pens. So I'm guessing that's a pretty good reason for them to be called chicken trees. You know? we're making a little progress here. Looking a little better. With a lot of the weeds being real small, I think rather than having to pull them, I think what I should be able to do is get one of those little garden claw, like a little shovel garden claw looking thing, and just scratch around and disturb the weeds, and hopefully once the weeds are disturbed and lay it on top, they just kind of quit growing, because pulling them out by hand is hard. But these squash plants are real fragile. I mean, you can break them just by brushing up against them. Well, it sounds like Barney over there making a fool of himself. I really wish them guys wouldn't bark so much all the time. They make so much freaking noise. But there are a lot of flowers on these squash plants. If the caterpillars don't get them, we're going to have a lot of squash. And these squash are really good. They're the little yellow ones. They're really good. Appreciate you coming along with me today while I'm doing the literal dirty work that the garden has to have done. Yeah, doing the dirty work. That's exactly what it is. Playing in the dirt. But it does have to be done. And to be honest with you, I mean, let's face it. If you've done this before, which I feel confident most people have, those are chicken trees I'm pulling out. If you've done it before, then you understand that yes, it is in fact hard work. It is in fact it's tedious and it's uncomfortable, because you got to get down so low to do it, and you got to be a foot off the ground and whatever. But it's physical labor, and it's very freeing for the mind. First of all, you know that you're growing stuff that's going to be really good to eat and good for you, and it's free. It's labor, but I paid $2 and something, I think, for the seeds. I don't remember how much they were now. I remember that they were more than I thought they were going to be. But so between all the good points of it, you're physically doing something, and you're outside, and you're not doing something that takes a whole lot of thought. I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot of thought to pull a weed. It's very freeing for your mind. It's good for you physically, it's good for you mentally, it's good for you all the way around. So I really enjoy it. I guess that's why everybody enjoys it, is because it's gives you mental freedom, gives your brain time to relax and just chill out and think straight. Ed making a fool of himself. I guess for Barney and Ed, all the barking is just sport. It's entertainment, I would have to assume. They have to be barking at things they can hear. They might be able to see through the fence on the left side. They can't see through the fence on the back, because even though some of the fence boards are missing because of that bamboo, which I have been ghosted on now. You can't see through the back. They might be able to hear noises, but they can't see through the back. Now, they might be barking at birds because they do like to bark at birds. They like to bark at anything, as a matter of fact. But it seems that after a while, they would just get tired of all the barking. That's one of the good things about keeping them in the house sometimes, is that it gives the neighbors a break from the constant barking, you know. And I have to admit that if my neighbors had dogs that just barked all the time, it would drive me batty. I cannot stand to be in my backyard and have a neighbor's dog barking at me while I'm in my own yard. And I don't think anybody should have to put up with that. No one should have to tolerate that. And if they came over here and said to me, "Shut your dogs up," I would figure out a way to keep them quiet. Now, we have bark collars on them, right? I hate to use the bark collars because I kind of feel like they're a torture device. But at the same time, if they don't bark, they don't have to worry about the shock collars, because they're only going to shock them if they bark. But they don't seem to care about being shocked at all. And the collars work. I've checked them out to make sure they work, and they work. And I hate, pressing the button when they start barking. But, the collar is to train them not to bark. That's what it's supposed to be about. We don't use it in the house. We used to have to squirt them with a water bottle in the house. Oh, excuse me. How much you want to bet you yawn now within a minute or two? Anyway, we used to use the little squirt water bottle in the house to train them, but we ended up squirting so much water everywhere that turned out to be not much fun at all. They didn't like the water, but it still didn't deter them very much from doing whatever they were doing. They just did whatever they wanted to do. So, that's the saga of Barney and Ed. They just do whatever they want to do. They're both rescue dogs. Barney was the cutest little thing you've ever seen in your life. Of course, there's a picture of him on the opening page. Oh no, yawned again. There's a picture of him when he was small on the opening page of my YouTube page. And Ed was nothing but ears and legs when he got here. I mean, he was nothing but ears and legs. Skinny. That poor dog hadn't eaten very much because, the shelter can't really overfeed him. So they do what they can. But he was skinny, and he was hungry. It was a little difficult to take care of that at first because he was just food crazy. And something happened. When we got him home, we had Barney for probably a week or two before we had Ed. And when we started sticking them out in the backyard together, which was with Ed, it was right away. With Barney, we had to wait for him to get big enough to do it. There was something about the food it was Ed more than it was Barney. There was something about the food that Ed was eating there different from the food he was eating here. And when I tell you that his poop smelled so bad, it was unbelievable. I mean, he'd go out in the backyard and you could smell it in the house. And after 3 or 4 days of that, we ended up taking him to the vet and saying, "Man, I don't know what's wrong with this dude. I don't know what's up with this dog, but there's got to be something horrible wrong with him, because, man, you couldn't go in the backyard." I felt bad for the guy who was cutting the grass, because, man, you couldn't go in the backyard. It was stunk so bad. And the vet said, "No, it's just a change in food. It's nothing really to worry about." And it's like, well, how soon till it goes away? And he said it would go away pretty soon. And I don't know, 3 or 4 days later it did. and he's been fine ever since. But man, that was horrendously bad. It was just unbelievable. You could smell it in the house. Well, I just dug up a squash plant by mistake. That was pretty easy to do. I'm sure all the weeds will keep on growing just fine, but that squash plant will die. Didn't plant the seeds far enough in the ground, and when I touched it, just pulled it up. My mistake. I've done a lot of gardening through my life, and I've never had a plant come up like that. So I must have. I really brushed against it. Matter of fact, those plants are super delicate. They're very, very fragile, and I didn't hurt the plant. I didn't bend one of the stalks or anything. I brushed it with my hand and I pulled it up out of the dirt, and I just laid there on top of the ground with the roots hanging out, and I had to rebury it. Evidently, when I planted the seeds, I didn't plant them deep enough. It's never occurred to me before that the depth that you put the seed determines the depth that the roots take hold at. Now, I thought I had done them all the same, but hey, if I was perfect, they'd kill me. So evidently, that one must have been right close to the top. I'm just going to hope that it makes it. I mean, the truth of it is, if it doesn't make it, it probably is better than it is worse, because those plants are so close together that they probably, half of them need to be pulled out anyway. But the garden is so small, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna deal with how close they are. I'm gonna have to do something really. I'm disappointed about the okra. I know I keep coming back to that, but I'm disappointed about the okra because I really like okra. And for okra to be good, you got to get it when it's really small. You got to pick them when they're about 1.5 inches or 2 inches long. You go to the store and buy it, and they're longer than that. They're bigger than that for the most part, and that's because they want to sell you okra, and they're selling it by weight. Let it get a little bigger, you're throwing away a little bit, but they're selling it to you, so All right, come around this side of things. The weeding process today did go much, much quicker than I thought it was going to. I didn't realize, I wasn't out there all that terribly long. Now, part of it might have been because it was very cool there. And I'm not 100% sure why. It was almost like it was a different world. I must have caught it just the right time of day. I don't remember what time it was, unfortunately. But the grass still had dew on it, and it was in the shade, and it was just relaxing. It felt good. Now, it was still hot, but it was, it felt good. So I was happy about that when I knelt down there and it felt cool. My poor little pepper plants. I mean, you can see in this picture right here, right there to the right in the front of the screen, that pepper plant has just been gnawed on. And peppers, I'm going to tell you one thing that wants to grow in Louisiana, baby, it's peppers. I mean, not bell peppers so much, but banana peppers and jalapenos, that kind of stuff. Man, they just grow everywhere. Matter of fact, you go to the store to buy the plants, and sometimes the plants have been for sale for a while, so they're like 1 foot tall in the planter, and they'll have 12 peppers ready to pick, hanging on the plants in the store. And me, I've got 6 pepper plants, and I think I get like maybe 4 peppers a week out of there. I mean, it hasn't been worth it, but I've never had trouble growing peppers before. And really, I'm not going to necessarily say, look how pitiful that little pepper plant is right there. You You see it that right under my arm. Another chicken tree. There we go. I'm a chicken tree plucker. Pull them out of there. Yeah. Anyway, I've never had trouble growing pepper plants before. They always just take off like crazy. Usually you got so many peppers you can't figure out what you're supposed to do with them all, which is good because I really like them. You know, I mean, I'll snack on them like they're strawberries. They're just so good, and so we'll hope next year maybe for a better pepper crop. Maybe I'll put the peppers down the other end of the garden and see what happens. Maybe it's just a matter of the position that they're in. I don't know. I know the other end of the garden gets sun first, so maybe that'll help, right? I've always had aspirations of growing a jalapeno plant or two in a big pot, a big pot on wheels, and then what you do is you just leave it outside. But when there comes a frost, there comes a weather that'll kill it. You just wheel it in, wheel it under the patio and cover it up, or wheel it in the garage, whichever way. Oh, excuse me. It's very relaxing to me to sit here and watch a video about pulling weeds out of the garden. It makes, I'm not sure why, but it makes me want to take a nap. I guess I'm boring myself stupid. I don't know. I hope I'm not boring you stupid. I hope it's making you feel just kind of relaxed and easy and like there's no rush in life. There's nothing that's so important you got to stop and do it now. You can take the time to go through the garden and pull the weeds. And you see underneath my hands, you see all those pieces of jasmine laying around in the garden. I put those in there on purpose to keep the dirt loose and to keep it wet. And they're starting to get mixed in good now. So they're doing what I put them in there to do. I think we're okay. Might have had a squash plant casualty, but I'm sure we'll get through it. Let's take a look. Those pepper plants are they're just not going to make it. That one there's pretty happy. It's doing well. Of course, the caterpillars are just taking all the peppers. Same as this one over here. It's doing well, doing better, but there's one jalapeno plant right there, and the peppers are just not happy here. This stuff of Amy's, I don't remember what it is, maybe it's basil. It's really happy there. And the squash plants are pretty happy to me. You see the one laying over there that I think is our casualty. But this looks okay to me. This is good enough. I'm gonna clean my hands up and might end up doing some more in the garage today.
Where you want to put it?
Just set it right there because I gotta go clean my hands up.
All right.
And I'll take it in the house.
And I'm going to use your license. Go ahead, clean your hand, I'll wait.
Okay. Let me see what it's going to take to round her up. Let me see what it's going to take to round her up. Give me just a second. Is that everything?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, she only had 13 items.
Amy. Amy.
You want to go to the front?
No, she's upstairs. So what do I need to do?
Oh, I just need to scan your license.
There's a possibility that none of this will get aired because I don't know if the camera was on for some of it or not. I came around the corner and the Walmart truck was there. I didn't know they were coming. I went to get Amy. I don't know where she's at. The lady in the Walmart truck wanted her because she's the one who placed the order. It took a few minutes. Now, I have all this Walmart stuff that I need to take in the house. So, and I looked at the camera once, and the camera, what I thought it was on, and it wasn't on. So I'm not sure exactly what I got and what I didn't. Wish me luck.